All right, so today we're going to talk about filters and blurs. Filters are what made Photoshop popular in the first place. Think about today. What made Instagram what it is? What made Instagram bigger than Facebook for a time? Because filters. They had different filters that made you look better. What made Snapchat so big for a second? It had new filters that made you look better, right? Everybody freaked out when the iPhone 10 or 11 or whichever came out with portrait mode because it made your pictures look better. What is portrait mode? It's just a little bit of a blur in the background, right? It's nothing special, but it makes the picture look better. Filters, blurs can help you tremendously along the way. So today I've given you a file, I've given you a folder to download. It's called Try It Out. And in this file, there are 4 images. I want you to drag these 4 images down to Photoshop and open all 4 right there. All right, so what we want to do here is we want to play around with the running on the street image specifically. Let me get myself out of the way here. Now, what we have here is a guy that is running down his road, right? I want to make it look like he's moving fast, like he's really kind of whipping through here. Blurs would give me the advantage that I want. So, before we really start with the blur side of this, let's play around with the filters and let's see what filters exist. Now, we're going to do some things that might be destructive in nature. So to prevent any issues from happening, I'm going to select my layer first and hit Command J. That'll duplicate my layer. I'm going to name that layer EXP for experiment. You got to experiment. Now, up at the top, you'll see the option for filter. Click on that. And underneath filter, you can see a large list of different types of filters. One at the top should say filter gallery. Click on that one first. Now, the filter gallery will pull this option up. And inside of the filter gallery, you can kind of click on different options. And you can see different art styles for how this would look. You can make him look like he's in full neon. Change the edges, make it brighter. Change the smoothness, make it smoother or less smooth. This gives you a starting point with some type of artistic look. Play around with these for a few minutes. Once you kind of set on one, click on it and hold on. I like this look. I think this look right here, which is plastic wrap, makes him look a little bit like an action figure almost. That's kind of what I was looking for when I saw this. So I'm going to hit OK on this. Now, in the layers, I want you to notice that the background layer is still there, okay? So if I hit the eyeball on my top layer, I've still got the original image underneath. So on this layer, I'm going to create a layer mask. Bop. That white layer mask right there means that nothing is here. I can see completely through this image. It is a clean layer mask, so that means there is nothing blocking my view. If I get my soft, round brush, and I start painting black on that layer mask, I can kind of clean up this effect a little bit. Maybe I don't want the road and the grass to have this effect. Maybe I only want this on him. So I make it look like he's a plastic doll running down the road. All right? It's kind of a neat little look. So all of a sudden, this image looks a lot different. It takes a different aspect, a different look. There's a lot of these things you can play with, right? I want you experimenting with filters. I don't want you to keep things simple. I want you to play around as much as possible. So this gives me the look that I'm looking for. Now, create a new layer for me. We're going to call this layer EXP2. So experiment 2. Under filters, you can play with this filter gallery however you want, right? We've talked about the liquify already. We kind of looked at that in the last couple lessons. And we're going to move down to this section, right? So in this section, there are a few different things you can do. I'm going to hold off on the blur. I want to go down to the ones that say render. Rendering creates images for you. What does it create? It's got a few things. First is a picture frame or a flame, a tree, clouds. You don't need to find images of clouds or trees and cut out the background if you can just make your own custom tree. Choose the type of tree you want. Do you want a willow? Do you want, a cherry blossom? How much light do you want on that tree? From which direction? How many leaves? A little bit of leaves, a lot of leaves. How many leaf sides? Bunch of them. We can have branch heights. How tall is your tree? How short is your tree? How thick are your branches? How thin? Random shapes. Sure. Whatever floats your boat. Hit OK. And put this tree off in the corner right here. If I created a layer mask here, I could blend the bottom of that tree into that grass. I don't need to go hunting for pictures of trees. Not bad. Create a new layer. This time I want to try a new tool, the pen tool. P for the pen tool. Pen tool is one of my favorite tools in Illustrator, but for this one, I just want to click one time on this tree, click once above it, hold and drag to the top right, then click above that again, hold and drag to the top left. Kind of making an S shape here, right? Now, I want to go up to the top, filter, render. This time I'm going to choose flame. Check this out. I can make a custom flame here. I can choose the color of my flame. So if I want my flame to be red, there's red. Hit that X, there's my red flame. If I want it to be green, there's my green flame. I'm going to stick to green because that's going to show up here. What kind of flame do I want? Do I want multiple flames going up in that same path? Just one? Do I want flames to be coming from one direction or coming from the path going out so that the S all has flame on the left side? Play around with these options. How big do I want my flames? How small? How much width does my flame have? How tall? What angle? Play around with these options and see what you like. Hit OK when you're happy. Flames. That's fire. So, we've got other options in here. I want you to hit another new layer. Go to Filter, and under Render, choose Lens Flare. Actually, that's not going to work. I apologize. On your layers, I want you to turn the visibility off on your top 3 layers so that you're back down to your background image. Don't worry about this little blue thing. It's not going to be visible. On your original layer, unlocked, I want you to go to Filter, go to Render, choose Lens Flare. You'll get an option to kind of create different types of flares from your camera. Pick one that you like. Make the brightness different. Move it right here. You see this little light moving. So is the light in front of them, behind them? Hit OK when you're happy, and you'll see that cool little lens flare that happens. So the effect that we want to create today is I want to make it look like this plastic version of him is blurring and moving so fast that he's kind of leaving a streak behind him. Think the Flash when the Flash is running. So if I were to add this blur effect to him right here, blur, Gaussian blur. Gaussian blur is the most common blur. If I add that to him, you see it kind of blurs him, but it makes a mess because it only works on him in that layer mask. It doesn't really create the look that I want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to control click on that area where it says EXP, and I'm going to convert this to a smart object. This turns it into an object inside an object, a layer inside of a layer. Notice you don't have your layer mask anymore. But if you were to double click on this, you would be able to open the document and see that layer mask that still exists. Okay? So it's not gone, it's just hidden. Now with this layer turned into a smart object, I'm going to go to Filter, Blur, and I'm going to go to Motion Blur. Now motion blur is pretty cool because you can choose the angle at which this blurs. I can choose the distance, so I can see it blur him really far or really close depending on what I want, right? So I'm going to blend him, I'm going to give him a good little size blur, and I'm going to have it facing straight behind him, so at about a 10-degree angle. Yeah, about like that. And I'm going to hit OK. Now, because this is a smart object, it comes in as a smart filter. You see the little white box right here. That smart filter allows me to draw on it just like a layer mask. I don't want this blur in front of him, so I'm going to paint black in front of him. I don't want it on his chest either. I want to see that plastic. So I'm going to draw right in front of him, and you see that it leaves just the blur behind him, if that's what I'm looking for, right? If I want to make that thicker, I can hit Command J, and I can make a thicker layer of that. Might need to get rid of some things, but you see all of a sudden, it's really blurring, right? Let's try it again. Command J, Command J, Command J. It gets thicker. It looks better. It's got this nice smooth transition. Whew, he's flying. All right, take a screenshot right here. You're going to turn this in, but this is not it. You've got another part of this. Once you've got a screenshot of this, you can hold off on this, move it to the side. Let's go look at this image. Now, on this image, it's fairly small. Okay, so keep that in mind. You can see it's pixelated when I zoom in. Command R will show you this image is about 2 inches, so it's not big. All right. I'm going to do some fairly cool little trickery just using blurs and layer masks here. So first, I want you to find the cow. I give you this cow because this cow is a particular challenge. Notice the white of the back of the cow blends very carefully to that white background. This is going to create issues for you. I need you to select this as cleanly as you can. The way I'd recommend is the Object Selection tool. Click on it, and then zoom in. Look carefully. There are spots of this cow that you didn't get. Get your Quick Selection tool. Check the face here. If it grabs too much and goes all the way to the edge of the document like this, hold Option, and that'll help you clean it up. So again, let me zoom in a little closer here. Apologies. Right here at the edge of the tail, you can see it's gone to the edge of the document. Hold Option, hover on the white. If you touch that tail or any part of that cow, you're going to have problems. So be careful not to do that where you can help it. Just drag over and keep your mouse on the cow or off the cow, depending on which thing you're trying to do. Be careful with this. Am I looking for perfect? No. Am I looking for okay? Am I looking for cut out? Yeah. Create your layer mask on this cow. And then let's drag this cow over to the field. It's going to come in stupid big. Command T, shrink this down. If you hold Option, it'll go into the center like this. I want this cow pretty small, about like, yeah. Hit return when you've got it here. All right. Now, I need to do the same thing for the alien ship. I'm going to try select subject and see how well it did. Very well. I'm going to layer mask this. I'm going to drag this over to this as well. Command T to shrink it down. Holding Option to go through the center. Return to lock this in. There's my cow floating in the air. There is my alien ship. Notice the layers. Pay attention real close to the layers. You can name them if you'd like. Cow and UFO. 3 letters each, not hard. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a tractor beam coming from this spaceship sucking up the cow, right? Now we need to go to our shape tools, which we may or may not have looked at just yet, but they're right here and they're fairly simple to play with. So get the rectangle tool. U is the shortcut. In your control panel or in your properties panel, I don't see mine. So in my control panel at the top, I'm going to change my fill to white, my stroke to none. Make sure that's what it says, and it says shape here. If that's the case, I want to draw a rectangle that goes like this. Not that. Pause. So a rectangle that goes like this. All right? From the alien ship to the ground at the bottom. Now, I'm going to go to Edit, Transform Path or Transform, and then I'm going to choose Distort. That allows me to grab the corner of this shape and kind of alter the size of it a little bit. I want the bottom wider than what's coming off of the ship. So about like that. Alright, so at this point I'm going to change this shape because I can't add the effect that I want to on this shape. I'm just going to choose the UFO layer for a second. It's going to pop up and ask about live shape into a regular path. Just hit yes, if you will, and then click back on your rectangle. I'm going to control click on the rectangle and I'm going to choose rasterize layer. Now rasterize layer is going to take it from a shape layer to a picture layer. It's not going to look like much changes, but it's going to act differently. All right. So rasterizing my layer turns it into a shape. You see that little thing, that shape is out of the thumbnail now. Now on that layer, I'm going to go to Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur. I use Gaussian blur more than almost any one of these blurs. This is my main one. It just blurs. That's all it does. It's simple. So I'm going to push this blur way up. I'm going to go to like 37, 38, somewhere in there. All right. You see it gives me a kind of crazy look. And you might say, this looks better. I hear you. I hear you. Give me a second. Go to 37-ish, somewhere in there. Hit OK. Now, I want to put the cow above that rectangle. So the cow is above the laser beam. Now I'm going to click on that rectangle again, hit Command J to copy it. And I'm going to move that above the cow. Command T will allow me to kind of squish this laser. Now what I'm doing is I'm holding Shift and dragging from the right edge in. You see what it makes, kind of a sharper version of this. Well, I'm going to put that in the middle here, just on top of the cow. Now I get the laser I want, right? That's my tractor beam. It took 2 rectangles instead of 1. The last trick I have is with the cow. And we saw the same issue with the runner. I want this cow to look like it's going upwards. It's in motion. But I've got the same issue because the layer mask is going to cause a problem. Control click on that cow and convert that cow to a smart object. And we'll talk about these. Then go to Filter, Blur, Motion Blur, and I want that cow to be going straight upwards. I don't want to stretch that cow so much I can't tell it's a cow. So I still want to go down a little bit, not so much motion. But I want to look.
Please excuse the interruption. Mr. Smalls, you're needed in the front office. Mr. Smalls to the front office.
So I'm going to add a motion blur to this. Filter, Blur, Motion Blur. And I'm going to see that it's going a wonky angle. I'm going to change my angle to go straight up and down, 90 degrees-ish. I'm going to change my distance on my blur because I want to be able to tell this is a cow at the end of the day, right? So I'm going to go about 10 pixels, maybe a little less. And I'm going to hit OK. And now my alien ship is literally abducting my cow here. So you see the power of a blur. The blur sold thousands more iPhones, millions more iPhones than the phone that didn't have the blur. There's a lot to be said about a blur. Experiment with these in your designs and see what you can come up with. Once you've got this alien ship looking like this, and you've got your running street right here, those 2 images, you need to take a screenshot of them both. One other way to do this would be to pull out your alien ship look. This look, you can kind of drag it off like this, shrink it down, show me both like this, and take a screenshot. That would be another way to do that. You can just turn in one like that, or give me both in separate screenshots, either way. So I hope you learned a little bit about the blur and the filters that exist inside of Photoshop today. Good luck with it.